Hello and welcome to a video that none of you expected, but I'm back. And I'm back with a bang. Not a very good bang, to be honest. But make sure you like and subscribe. Let's get this all over and done with straight away. We're back because Chelsea are shit. Let's not beat around the bush. I am on my way home after watching Chelsea v PSG, where we lost 3-0. It rings a bell, to be honest, because in the Club World Cup we beat PSG 3-0. 8-2 on an aggregate score. It can't get any worse, can it? It can. That sums up Chelsea's season. And embarrassing, and that's why I'm here. Out of the EFL Cup. Out of the Champions League. Out of the Premier League. Where do I begin? And that's why I'm here. I'm here to get my stance on this Chelsea ownership, which I think is an embarrassing ownership. Eghbali and Todd Boehly. Blueco, as they call themselves. They call themselves the best ownership in the world. They know what they're doing. Let's talk the summer. Should we start on that? Because that is a brilliant way to begin. We just won the Club World Cup. Everything's high. We just beat PSG 3-0. The best team in the world. Let me paint you a picture. Levi Colwill gets injured. What would you do as an owner? What would you do as an owner of Chelsea Football Club? Would you A, sign a centre-back to replace him? B, not bring in anyone? C, go ahead and sign shit youngsters? Well, he didn't do A, if you thought he would, which is what he should have done, because we didn't need to bring in any centre-backs, did we? Todd, or Eghbali, whatever your fucking name is. We didn't need to bring in anyone like that. We didn't. We don't need anyone like that, do we? We don't need experience. What's experience? Nah, that word right there, experience, is a key word that I'm going to be using throughout this video. You're going to be hearing it a lot, because experience is what you need to build a fantastic football club. You know, you look at Arsenal right now, and it pains me to say this because Arsenal, enough about them, but they have experience throughout their team. Chelsea have none. None. I'll tell you right now, we have none. There's no player in Chelsea Football Club that you think can lead us to a Premier League, a Champions League, even an FA Cup. There's no one in there that... We used to have Thiago Silva. Now, Thiago Silva, even when we were in the ropes in that season, led us to something. Led us to some joy, at least, you know. Looking at this season, there's no one there that I look at and go, maybe Reece James. Maybe Reece James is the only one that you can say has that experience to, you know, take us to that level. You know, hence why we got him a contract. But it's funny how he's got a hamstring now, the minute he's got his contract. I'm not saying anything. I love Reece James to bits. It's just annoying at the fact he's been given his hamstring injury at the worst possible time of the season. But I look at other than Reece James, there's no one else. And I know people are going to go, Enzo Fernandez won a World Cup. Enzo Fernandez, that was his first World Cup that he played for Argentina. He was very lucky to get into that starting 11 because Argentina was struggling for midfielders that World Cup. And to be honest, this season he's been on and off, very on and off. But anyway, let's get to the game, shall we? Let's go to the first leg where Jorgensen, it's a decision making from Liam Rosenior. Now, I'm about to go in on Liam Rosenior, and I don't blame him personally, because I don't feel like it's his fault. I feel like it's the ownership again. Why bring him in? Why is he the man? Why do you think he's the man to take Chelsea to that next level? Well, let me just cut it short. He isn't. He is not the man to take. Can you look at Liam Rosenior? Can he win a Premier League? No. Can he win a Champions League? Well, he proved that tonight. He can't. Can he win an EFL Cup? He proved that about 4 weeks ago. He can't. And he can't win an FA Cup. He's struggling against Wrexham. So he's proved in all of the competitions that we played in so far, he ain't going to win any of them. And even before that, you don't look at Liam Rosenior and you look at his resume. Watford. Ooh. Tell you what, that's a good one. Derby. Oh, sign him up. You read them and you go, that resume's cut short, by the way, because that's all he's got. What I read there is all he's got. So straight away you're looking at that and you're going, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? I mean, I think Igor Tudor is, and I know a lot of Chelsea fans are going to be like, look at where Tottenham are. Igor Tudor is a better interim manager, and that's what I look at Liam Rosenior. He's an interim, because Liam Rosenior will be gone in the summer. He will be. And that, for me, is where we're at. Liam Rosenior will be an interim replacement for whoever the manager is in the summer, because we're not going to get top four. And we know that that's what Blue Co are after, is top four. And you look at the remaining games that we've got coming up. We've got Everton away. We've got Chelsea should not be playing in the Europa League or the Conference League. We've done that already. And it was nice playing in the Conference League last year, I guess. Looking at Joao Felix, looking at Nkunku. The reality is Chelsea should be playing the Champions League every year. And in reality, Chelsea in the Champions League this year has been embarrassing. And then you look, I'm sorry, I'm just going off here because I'm just pissed off. But you look at the Champions League this year, where we played players like Garnacho, Liam Delap, our B team, pretty much. You take away players that are key for us, and I say the key players are Sanchez, I guess, Colwill, Reece James, Cucurella, Caicedo, Palmer, Esteval, and Joao Pedro. They're Chelsea's key players, in my opinion. Put in the comments if you think I'm wrong. You take away two of them players, Chelsea are a completely different team to what they are from them. And that is where we've been losing. I mean, if you look, we've got the most points that we've lost at home from leading a game. That's embarrassing. It's things like we lost to Newcastle for the first time. I think it's in 14 or 15 years, maybe 17, thinking about it. It's really bad of where we're at as a football club. And I know many people are going to be like, oh yeah, but look at where you are. You know, look at where Tottenham are at the moment. Look at where this team is. No. Sorry. From where we are, we should be clear. And when I say clear, we should be clear of Man United, Liverpool and Villa, of teams that we've dropped. If we can go and perform, and this is where I say is that the world, and this is where I'm going to come on to my point, where I think the Club World Cup, is the worst thing that has happened to this football club. I think it is, because it's given these players such an ego for some reason that they think they're the best players in the world, that they think they're incredible because they beat PSG. I'm sorry to break it to every Chelsea fan out there, but we didn't beat anyone to that Club World Cup that was any high standard. It's right what Jamie Carragher said. It's right what these pundits are saying. Who did we beat to deserve the right to be a world champion? We didn't beat anyone. We beat Benfica. We struggled, by the way. We beat him in extra time. We beat Flamengo, who were struggling at the time. We beat Palmeiras, and then we beat PSG, who were tired because they just won a Champions League. They didn't really give an F about the Club World Cup, and then they battered us in the Champions League, and that proved the point. In the Champions League, starting, and this is where I've seen Liam Rosenior since, I think Enzo Maresca, I know I'm going on points here, but after Club World Cup, Enzo Maresca getting sacked in January was one of the worst decisions the football club's ever made, in my opinion, again. And I'm not saying they've ever made, because that's an understatement. But what I'm trying to say is, under Todd Bowley, under Egbali, getting rid of Enzo Maresca doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. Why did he deserve to get the sack? I don't think it was his fault. He wanted a centre-back in the January, which is fair. He didn't want to bring in Mamadou Sarr. He didn't want to bring in this, he didn't want to bring in that young centre-back. He wanted the experienced centre-back to come in and help us throughout the season because he knew what we needed. After Levi Colwill got injured, every Chelsea fan was screaming for a centre-back because we knew what we needed. I at the moment, and I know they're going to look at Leo, but look at the players we've got coming up. Look at Andre Santos, look at Estevao, and you look at them players and you go, I don't know. Estevao hasn't scored a goal since Barcelona. Andre Santos looks good on the ball, but reality is our midfield was embarrassing tonight, and that's including Caicedo. And Palmer, where's Palmer? That's the question everyone's asking. Palmer hasn't done anything since the injury. Really, it is confusing. Without João Pedro this season, Chelsea would be nowhere near that top 5. We don't deserve to be in the top 5. You look at Man United, for example. Man United finished 15th, I think it was last season. They have a better attack than us. Arguably a better midfield than us, really. And I know Chelsea fans cream about Caicedo. They cream about Enzo, thinking that they're the best partnership I've ever seen. Caicedo's been wank this season. No one wants to say it. Caicedo this season has been awful, woeful. No one wants to say it. He's a heel breaker. He's an ankle breaker, ankle breaker. He will just clip your ankles, that's all he does. Eventually he'll win the ball. I know Chelsea fans are going to go, oh yeah, but look at his dribbles tonight. Yeah, that's when PSG put their foot off the pedal. That's when he could actually drive with the ball a bit. Neto as well. I mean, I know I'm moving on from the midfielders to wingers, but the wingers scenario, signing Garnacho for 60 million. Seriously. Garnacho, and Man United fans laughed at us when we snatched him for 60 million. But let's be honest here, are they wrong? They're not wrong at all. Garnacho is one of the worst footballers I think I've ever seen. And then you've got Liam Delap. 30 million feels like we've been ripped off. 30 million we signed Liam Delap for. And we feel ripped off. And Chelsea fans are sitting here going, give him time, give him time. You can't give a man that shit time. You can't. And then you look at Hato. Hato, to be fair, I'm not going to go into Hato because he was actually... I think Hato's got potential to be a good footballer. You can see potential. Same with Estevao, you can see. You can see that there's a player in there. I hope Latvia can stay fit because if so, that'll help out us midfield. But if I look at the Romanian fixtures, we're I think it's 3 points behind Brentford in 6th and 1 point behind Liverpool. But you look at Liverpool right now, I know they're not great at the moment, and maybe that's the way we get into the top 5. But I don't see us going to the Hill Dickinson Stadium on Sunday and winning, really, if I'm honest. So, obviously I hope, but it's just where this club is at the moment. I don't see any indication that Chelsea will pick up 3 points, to be honest. And we got a really tough game until the end of the season, and this is the run-in now. We've still got the FA Cup to go. Maybe if he can win the FA Cup and get top 4, he will change my mind. But at the moment, I want Leroy Senior out. And it's nothing against him. I think he's a well-spoken lad. I think he's a great human being. But at the end of the day, that doesn't keep you the job at the end of the day. I still think we should have kept Enzo Maresca. I think there's plenty more candidates in the summer where we can go in and actually become the club that we should be. After the Club World Cup, many Chelsea fans would have had ambition that we can go do things in the Premier League. We started the Premier League season I think people seem to forget, we started this Premier League campaign really well. but it seemed to just drop off. It always seems to. But this one has been of a magnitude no one expected. So I'm hoping and praying that we can pick up form, one, and go to the end of the season. Do I believe it? No. I don't believe Chelsea will finish in that top 5 even. I think top 6 is a stretch. We just don't look at it at the moment. Man United look better than us at the moment. Villa even look better than us at the moment. And that's the worst thing. To just look at the summer where we were, after we won the Club World Cup. Every Chelsea fan was looking forward to that summer where we could maybe sign some players that could really help us do something in the league. And we just didn't sign anyone that seemed exciting. Sign their centre-back. If I was the chairman of Chelsea, what I would look at is a new goalkeeper. We wouldn't mind that in the summer. Pay that release clause. Play whatever clause it is. Mind that this window would have been brilliant for Chelsea. Sign a centre-back. Sign a midfielder. We know that Lavia's injury prone. Why get rid of Kieran Dewsbury-Hall? He's doing really well for Everton this season. It's stuff like that. And then bringing in a winger like Garnacho. Criminal. But anyway, let's get on to... I'm going to do some ratings. I'm going to do the ratings of the players that played tonight. So Sanchez in goal. Out of 10, I'll give him a 6. I didn't think Sanchez played badly tonight. I thought his distribution was actually really good. He wanted to help the team get up the field, not try and play round the back. So I actually give Sanchez quite credit tonight. Done a lot better than Jorgensen the previous night. He couldn't deal with the goals that he dealt with. I mean, a couple of them were really embarrassing from the centre-backs. But I thought he actually played really well tonight, Sanchez. Cucurella, a 5, just an average rating. Didn't really do anything going forward, and that's normally his strong point. Defensively, couple of really good tackles, but at the end of the day, the defence doesn't deserve nothing more above a 5, to be honest. Mamadou Sarr, 2. Really bad from Mamadou Sarr. Played really poorly. I wouldn't start him in a game like this, to be honest. I thought it was a really poor decision making. He should have started Joshua Chimpong. Chalobah, I give him a 5. I thought Chalobah did play well tonight. He has played well all season. I think it's been really unlucky that the defence he's playing with are just shocking. But I do believe Chalobah did have a good game tonight. Who was playing in centre-back? It was Sanchez, Cucurella, Sarr, Chalobah. Who played alongside? I don't remember. It was that bad. I don't remember who played alongside Chalobah, sorry. It was Hato. Hato, 4.5. I thought defensively he was poor. Again, got cooked by the PSG attackers. But I thought going forward, his actual driveness, he could be a really good left-back for Chelsea, honestly. And maybe a good centre-back either. But him and Chalobah, I thought, did well tonight. It's just when you're up against that PSG front 4, there's not many teams in the world that can beat that. But it's not an excuse, because we did play well. Caicedo tonight, 4. Very poor for Caicedo. Made a couple of good tackles, a couple of good runs in the second half. But that's when PSG put their foot off the pedal. So I didn't really see him really do anything in that first half. And to be honest, a couple of these tackles, I mean, the one with André Santos, where they don't communicate at all, and then they give just PSG a goal, it's just shocking. So I'm going to give him a 4. It wasn't a captain's performance, and he had that captain armband today. That's not a captain's performance. So I gave him a 4. André Santos, 3. Again, poor. The only reason why I give Caicedo a 4 is because of them direct runs that he made in the second half. But if I'm honest, even MC poor as well. Andre Santos, 3, very poor. His 2 mistakes led to 2 goals. And just poor. I don't need to say much more. Enzo Fernandez didn't really do anything. I thought in the first half and then first 10 minutes before we conceded, he actually had a really good chance to put through João Pedro and a couple of other chances. He didn't take them chances at all and he made a couple of poor decisions. I'm going to give him a 3.5. I didn't think Enzo Fernandez played well. He's moaning a lot across the pitch as well to the referee. Just shocking. Just shocking. His attitude stank to them. We'll get onto him actually after I say the ratings. But Enzo Fernandez 3.5. Palmer 3. The amount of chances Palmer had tonight to really put a nail in the coffin. I mean, he had a couple of really big chances in that first half. He should have scored the first one that came along to him. That's his bread and butter. The pass to João Pedro, that could have set him through. Another one where he should have really done better. Palmer was a 3 tonight. Just poor. What I want to know is where is Palmer? That'd be a good question. Neto. I'm going to give Neto a 5. I'm going to give Neto his flowers for a minute. I did think Neto did run for the team tonight. He definitely did show like he wanted to win. He seemed like he was the only one that was really going for it, if I'm honest. So I will give him his flowers tonight. I feel like it is deserved. He does deserve it. It was just a shame that the other players couldn't follow. But João Pedro definitely deserved. Pedro Neto definitely deserved something. He was definitely running, even though it seemed like he was running up the fucking Teletubbies hill. He did run, and he did do a lot today, so I have to give Neto, even though it's a 5, I'm not giving him anything above a 5. We didn't score, he didn't do anything, he missed a couple of sitters. That cross where he just gets it out for a throw-in still confuses me, but... And then we're going to go with the last one, João Pedro. I'm going to go João Pedro a 3.5. I thought he could have done a lot better with a couple of the passes that he was made from Enzo and Palmer. Fair enough, they weren't good, really, hence why the rating for them two. But he definitely could have done better. That one where he picks the ball and Palmer's open and he just kind of dribbles through, thinking he's Messi, even though he could have just passed to Palmer. Because there's something that Palmer's really good at, and it's tight spaces. Palmer somehow seems to get out them tight spaces a lot better than most forwards do. João Pedro decided that he thinks he could do that and then pass to Palmer, when he could have just passed to Palmer and then created space for himself. But yeah, João Pedro 3.5. Terrible performance from him. The substitutions, I thought Latvia came on. I'm going to give Latvia a 6. I know that a lot of Chelsea fans are going to go, why a 6? I just thought Latvia controlled our midfield a lot more better. Should have started to, and it's ahead of Andre Santos. I'm still a bit confused by that, to be honest. I don't understand. I get it, you're nursing minutes. I'd rather him start than come off the bench, Latvia. Shempong, again, I'm going to go for a 4. Unlucky that he came off against this game. Delap, a 1. Oh, sorry. I don't know what happened there. Delap, a 1. Terrible performance. Garnacho, I'm going to give a 4. I thought Garnacho coming off the bench, he actually did do well. And I want him to start against Everton. And then we're going to move on. Because enough about that game. You know, we played terrible. We lost 2-0. 3-0, sorry. Fair play to PSG, by the way. Barcola, amazing. Can't say his name, but the Georgia guy, unbelievable. Not going to try and say his name because I'll butcher it. But unbelievable winger. Cooked us in the 2 games. PSG deserve to go through. They'll beat any team. in Europe, in my opinion, if they keep on the way they're going. But let's get on to the last thing about today, and it's Enzo Fernandez's statement after the game, where he was asked about his future, and he says, "I don't know. I've got 8 games left and a World Cup. We'll see after that." It's worrying. It is worrying because Enzo Fernandez is a man that has signed a long-term contract under Chelsea, has believed in the board, and now all of a sudden he's decided he doesn't know now, and that's worrying because Enzo Fernandez has been proper Chelsea, according to a lot of Chelsea fans. It is worrying because it shows that there is cracks behind the doors that a lot of Chelsea fans know there is, but obviously it's not official. But tonight showed them cracks, in my opinion. It is worrying. I know I've said that for 3 times now, but it is. Enzo Fernandez is an amazing footballer, probably the best signing under Todd Boehly and under Eghbali. He's unbelievable. Enzo Fernandez is an unbelievable talent. If we had a better squad around him, he would be speaking highly. He's just amazing. Like, it's hard to explain Enzo Fernandez to a neutral. He's everywhere. He's everywhere. He will fight for the badge. He cares. It will be a shame to lose Enzo Fernandez in this summer. But hearing from what I'm hearing, as if I'm some reporter, but it's not looking great from what you're seeing on Twitter, from what you're seeing from the reports. Enzo Fernandez could leave in the summer because he doesn't know, If a PSG comes in for him, Real Madrid are interested. We know that them teams are looking into him. That would be damaging for Chelsea, 110%. So it's going to be interesting to see how the end of the season goes. If you asked me for my prediction, which I'm sure you didn't, but if you did, where do I think Chelsea finish at the end of the season? 6th. I think Liverpool are bad at the moment, and we are very similar to Liverpool in the sense of our results, in the sense that we're playing. But if you look at this point of the season, with the games that we've got coming up compared to Liverpool, ours is 10 times harder, and I just don't see where we get a result from. Everton away on Sunday. Do I think we can win? No chance. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. It's been 28 minutes of a Chelsea rant. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you want more, let me know. I don't know. This is a one-time thing, but if you want more, I don't mind doing it after Chelsea games, a little review. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe. Peace.